Today we're going to be turning this base model 2nd gen into one of the cleanest street builds you'll ever see. We bought this truck for $4,200. This truck does have the 12-valve Cummins in it, and it is pretty nice for what we got. But of course, it's not good enough for me, and it needs a couple slight modifications. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Let's go grab our handy dandy toolbox over here. If you're new to the channel, this is my handy dandy toolbox. This helps me with all of my builds. So the first mod that we're going to end up doing to this truck is we're going to be throwing a sport front end on this truck because I'm not a fan of the base model SLT front end. It just doesn't look real good to me, and the sport front end just looks better. Now this is looking much better. I'd like to thank Bumpers That Deliver for sending me out this stuff. If you guys are interested, they have fenders, bumpers, tailgates, rear bumpers, you name it, they got it. They also sell paint if you're looking to paint your vehicle. So go down in my description and click on Bumpers That Deliver and get some really good parts for your guys' truck. I actually surprised my dad with new bumpers on his truck because his got rusted, and it was a pretty big difference. I am really impressed with the quality of their bumpers. But if you've already made it this far into the video, I appreciate you very much. Make sure you watch till the end because that helps YouTube push my videos out more. But we need to get these old nasty amber headlights swapped out. They're not really that bad looking, but they don't look good in my opinion. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to be custom building some Alfrex headlights. So we're going to pop our hood here, and then we're going to take these stock headlights out, throw some Alfrexes in. Now this is much better. And if you guys didn't know, Alfrex does not make headlights for 2nd gen Dodges. They do make taillights, but they do not make headlights. So these are actually custom built. So if we start up our truck, they should turn on. Yeah, that looks pretty good in my opinion. The guys did a really good job on that, so I'd like to thank them for that. I'd also like to thank Wheelman Fab for this beautiful truck. He is the one who made this truck. If you're interested, link in description, you can buy his Patreon and get this beautiful truck along with a couple more. You can also get a couple of my beautiful trucks. Here's one of them right here. This is my 0560. This one actually has dynamic suspension now, so it's one that you don't want to miss out on, so make sure you subscribe to both of our Patreons. Let's keep going with this build. Now, it just wouldn't make sense if we had Alfrex headlights that we built and not Alfrex taillights, because stock 2nd gen taillights just aren't where it is. So we're going to be throwing some Alfrex taillights in as well. Alfrex actually makes the taillights for the 2nd gen, so we don't have to custom build them ourselves, thank goodness. But I'm not going to lie, these look like they came right from Alfrex's factory. If you guys don't think that these taillights are actually sick, I don't know what's wrong with you, because these taillights are probably the nicest, most detailed taillights in farming sim. I meant real life. Anyways, yeah, Wheelman Fab did such a good job on these. These look so good. I literally, probably one of the nicest parts in farming sim. I meant real life. You know what I mean. But let's go ahead and turn our taillights on. Holy crap, my goodness. Those are some nice taillights. Now, I'm not going to make a fool out of myself for headlights and taillights, so let's just move on with the build before my video gets too cringy. This build is actually going a lot smoother than my other builds. It's going pretty fast as well. We've already gotten a lot done here. It's already getting kind of dark, but we're flying through this build. Next thing that we're going to do before we go to bed is we're going to go ahead and throw some rock lights in this thing. We should have enough time before it gets completely dark, and I do want to get to bed at a decent time tonight, because I got to be up pretty early tonight to take one of my kids to school, so I don't want to not be tired. Well, the clock just struck 9. It is officially dark outside, and we just finished the rock lights, and they are bright as well. This truck is going to be an absolute spaceship at night, and I'm actually not going to lift this thing stupid high. It's going to sit a tad higher than this, but it's going to have wider wheels, obviously. So this truck is actually going to be really nice, because I know some of my trucks are a little bit too lifted. Now, this nice street build is just going to look absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, it is already 9 o'clock, like I said. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take off for the night and go to bed. Because, like I said, I got to take one of my kids to school in the morning. Man, ruining the build. I'm just kidding. But we do need to head the hay. So we're going to take off in the 060 here. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Let's get a good cold start of the 60. It's like 48 degrees outside, so it's kind of cold. Oh, yeah. That thing sounds amazing. But my interior, I think, is even nicer than what the truck sounds like. Look at this interior. This interior is absolute mint. Morning, you guys. I just got back from dropping one of my kids off from school. Like I said, we are just pulling back in the shop here to finish, hopefully finish the 2nd gen today. Beautiful looking 6.0 here. But, yeah, looking to finish the old 2nd gen build today. So what is on our list today? finish the truck. But that also includes getting wheels, paint, and a couple more things cosmetically. We got to get an exhaust in here because this old exhaust is stock. We don't like stock exhaust here. We're going to straight pipe this puppy because it's a 12 valve and we're going to let that 12 valve sing. So, because we need to let that 12 valve sing, we went ahead and installed a TSO exhaust tip on here with an MBRP straight pipe. It is a full down pipe, so this Cummins is going to be singing, that's for sure. It's a full turbo back exhaust, so it's got the down pipe and all that. So this truck is going to be a loud one, I'll tell you that. But I'm not going to lie, from the back, this thing just looks amazing. And it's going to look even better when we get the wides on here and give it that nice wide stance. But we are going to move on to paint here, so unfortunately for that means that we're going to take the bed off. So we got to go ahead and basically undo half the stuff we did on this bed. That includes the rock lights and the tail lights and the bumper and that kind of stuff. Alright, now that we got our bed off, we should be able to paint this thing. The frame was already redone by the previous owner, so I'm not really worried about the frame. It's already sandblasted and repainted and refinished and all that. But now that we got the bed off, we can go ahead and repaint the body. So we're going to go ahead and tear the mirrors, the headlights, the bumper, and the hood with the grill off. And then we should be able to sand this whole thing down, get it painted, get it put back together, and finish off this build. My golly, you guys are not going to believe what this truck looks like. This truck is probably going to be one of the nicest trucks that we've built, even though I say that all the time. My goodness, those paint-matched Alpharexes, the exhaust tip, the full paint-matched rear bumper, everything about this truck. Holy crap, this truck is mint. And it's going to be even better when we get a different wheel setup on this thing, because that's coming next, because these old skinny little tires are hideous on this really nice truck. Well, all that paint match and all that red, the whole reason I went with red is because we got these red TIS off-road wheels, and TIS isn't really one wheel that I go with very often, but I saw these wheels on Marketplace. I'm like, okay, we're going to be building a red truck, and we're going to use these wheels because I don't know why, but something just hit me, and I just thought these wheels looked amazing. Now, I was going to go with a tad bit bigger lift than this, but it sits pretty good how it is now. My goal basically was low and wide, so my goal is to get a good angle from this, or a good angle, and just make this truck look amazing. And it looks amazing, I'll tell you that right now. And I still was considering putting a bigger lift on it with bigger wheels and tires, and probably somewhere about the same height as my other white truck over here. But honestly, I think the low and wide on this truck just looks amazing, and I don't think I would change a thing about it. The only other thing that I would change about this truck is under the hood. Now, we got a 12 valve under here, we got a straight pipe, and we want to let that 12 valve sing, and we need a new turbo, because a 12 valve with an aftermarket turbo, now that really sings. That just turns up the volume by, like, half. I don't know. But I am going to pull my 6.0 over here so that way, or probably my flatbed Dodge, so that way I can get easier access to the engine bay. Because I currently don't have a lift. I have that lift over there, but I currently don't have anything to get up into the engine bay. I could use a ladder, but I think using that flatbed on my 4th gen Dodge is probably a little bit easier, and it's honestly pretty smart. If you're new to the channel and don't know what flatbed I'm talking about, this is the truck that I kind of use to help me get up in the engine bay. It's got this big old flatbed here that I can just jump up onto and work on my engine bay stuff. It's almost perfect, but let's go ahead and start it up. The trailer should already be disconnected, I think. Yep, I think it is. There we go. But this is my 4th gen Dodge. This truck is probably one of my nicest trucks. I absolutely love this truck. In this configuration, it looks so nasty. But let's go ahead and open up our garage door here. Now, I'm going to show you guys... Okay, where is it? I was going to say. Let's see how well that this truck sits without hitting that. So basically what I do here is I just go ahead and pull the truck, make sure I don't hit the bumper, which I'm about to. Truck is too wide. It's not hit the bumper. Okay, I'm just going to back up to it. I'm going to quit my yap session and just back up to it. So basically what I do here is I'll just back my truck up about right there, and I can jump up here on the flatbed and work on the truck. Now, unfortunately, I am not sitting where it should be, so I'm going to have to move the truck once again. But as you can see, you get the point. I can get way closer to the engine bay, and that's what we're going to be changing right there. That turbo. It's going to be swapped for a nice loud one. So, after a couple minutes of some hard work, we ended up getting the turbo swapped out, and we got a singing turbo one that's going to sing real loud. Now, if you get my point, where I just back up right to the bumper, and I just use my flatbed as a big old flat deck just to stand on, so that way I can work on my truck. It works great. But with that being said, motor work is done. Everything on this truck is done. You guys know what time it is if you've watched my channel. It's time that we shut everything. If I can reach up here, we shut the hood. We take some pictures for the old Instagram. We drive it around to make sure that nothing's wrong with the suspension and everything is running like it should. If I can... I'm not even worried about the tailgate right now. Let's go ahead and open our door, start her on up, see what this turbo sounds like. This is going to be the first startup after the turbo. Sounding good, but yeah, this tailgate being open is bothering me way more than it should. Let's see if I can try and close it here. Maybe. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and roll on out of here. Make sure our taillights are on. Looking good. And, of course, I'm going to run into the pole, or the shop. Truck rides good for being on rubber bands. I'm not going to lie. These are rubber band tires. And it actually rides pretty good with them. I'm not going to lie. It rides really good with them, actually. I'm not going to lie. But, we are all over the road. But it seems to drive pretty good for being on rubber bands. Most of my trucks that I've had really good luck with my lifted trucks driving pretty well. And not like a rock like I've heard. But, with that being said, no cop, no stop. RIP to the stop sign. Now, you guys know what time it is. Time for pictures. We're going to pull right up to the shop. And, man, this truck looks good. This truck looks really good. Holy crap. We already got some pictures for the old Instagram, as I was saying, but this truck is just amazing. I'm not going to lie. Big shout out to Wheelman Fab for this truck. Go subscribe to both of our Patreons. Mine and Wheelman Fab's. Get this beautiful truck, if you know what I'm saying. But, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we are going to throw the truck, well, not throw it, but we're going to back the truck into the shop. This truck is awaiting being sold. This truck you can get at my dealership here, Nebraska Diesel Performance. I don't know what we're going to sell this rig for yet, but we're going to figure that out later. And we're just going to start by pulling it into the shop. Let's go ahead and wait for our garage door to shut. But this truck has such a nice booty that we're actually pointing it at the street and not the front, which we usually point at the street for people to see. But this truck is so nice. I'm going to point the rear end towards the street just because of how good this thing looks. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. It is the end of the video, so subscribe, like, all that. Me and It's Optic are racing to 10K subscribers, so if you could subscribe, it'd help me out more than you ever know. I actually just hit 3,000 subscribers like a week ago, and I just hit 3,100 subscribers today. I have like 3,116 right now, actually, last I checked, which was like an hour ago prior to recording this. So, my channel's doing real good, so if you could help it out more and subscribe, it'd help me out more than you'll ever know. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, love you, bye, and big shout out to Wheelman Fab.